about Brooklyn Beckham. You may have heard of him. He got very famous parents, David and Victoria of England. We know that David is a famed soccer star as well as Victoria was at once a time a pop star in a girl group called better known as the Spice Girls. Well, Brooklyn feels like his parents are being controlling and telling him what to do with his life when Brooklyn wants to do things his way and do things as he stand by his wife. We'll get to the latest on what's going on between Brooklyn versus his parents, David and Victoria Beckham, on the next edition of Viral. Welcome to this edition of Viral. A public family, a public son. Well, I mean, a famous family, a public son. A line that's been drawn. You know what I'm talking about. Brooklyn Beckham. He's the son of England's own David Beckham, who was a soccer star, and Victoria Beckham, who's better known as Posh Spice in the Spice Girls. Have a famous family riff. We'll get to the minute, but first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag here on Viral. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to tell somebody and use that hashtag Viral. We get to this. Brooklyn Beckham versus his own parents, David and Victoria Beckham. The Beckhams have been in the public eye for quite some time, for many decades of their love story. And now their grown son feels like he wants to choose his peace, his maturity, and his narrative to move forward. Well, let's get to the latest on what's going on. Our very own Bob Evans breaks down what's going on between the Beckhams.
Brooklyn Beckham is at the center of a growing family storm, and this time, it's not just rumors. Fans noticed emotional posts from Brooklyn that suggest deep tension between him and his parents, David and Victoria Beckham. While no one has laid everything out in full detail, the message feels clear. Brooklyn is choosing his own peace, his marriage, and his independence, even if that means distance from his famous family. What started as wedding drama years ago has now turned into questions about control, boundaries, and whether growing up in a global brand leaves room to be your own person. The Beckhams have always been picture perfect, but behind the image, this looks like a real family struggling in public. And sometimes the hardest breakup isn't romantic, it's family.
As you saw right there, Bob Evans really insightful on what's going on with the Beckham family. Hard to hear that what was going down with Brooklyn when he had his wedding to Nicole Pizza and saying that his mom tried to interject herself, Victoria trying to take away, saying that she wanted him to be a mom's boy, but he still is a mama's boy. He just wanted to be grown and be on his own. And I think the Beckhams, Brooklyn claims that the Beckhams are controlling and trying to use the narrative for their own advantage. There's a lot of stuff going on, this family drama. And like we said, we hope that things can heal. But hey, you know how things are. Let's hear what you people had to say. You people had a lot to say about the Beckhams, about their family drama and riff on what's going on. Let's hear what you people had to say and express your opinions on what the people say.
Cruz Beckham has set the record straight on the feud between his brothers Romeo and Brooklyn. There are loads of rumours swirling that Brooklyn and Romeo are in this massive feud. It's because there are rumours swirling around that Romeo's girlfriend Kim dated his older brother Brooklyn before she got in a relationship with him, so the internet says. And apparently this has caused a big rift between the brothers. But Cruz isn't having any of it. He's taken to social media and he's addressed it in a quite a subtle way. So you can see here Romeo's post with the caption, "This song felt appropriate." Someone commented, "It's appropriate to date your brother's ex too? ? Cool." So then Cruz replied saying Brooklyn and Kim never dated. So there you go. I feel like if he's saying it and he's part of the family, surely we take it from him. I don't know. There are reports that Brooklyn and Kim dated back in 2016. I mean, even if they did, it was 10 years ago. If it is true, she's clearly got a thing for the Beckham boys. Either way, they all seem to put on a very united front recently as they celebrated the start of David Beckham's 50th birthday celebrations. How is he 50? This man is aging backwards. He ages like a fine wine, that's for sure. Guys, what do we think about all of this? Is it true? Is it not? As always, let me know your thoughts.
All right, guys. So it looks like Nicola Peltz and Brooklyn Beckham. It looks like it doesn't really matter what the last name is. It is one of those moments where we just realize family is family. Cruz Beckham decided to go on and pretty much just like slam Brooklyn, saying, "You're dead to me, that you are a see you next Tuesday, that you have Stockholm syndrome, that you are looking for all of the attention." Literally just went on and on and on. And a lot of people are wondering what is going on with the Nicole Peltz, Victoria Beckham of it all, or Beckham of it all. This is actually, it's kind of like more interesting the more that I look at it. But like with the whole brother thing, I'm like, this is, trust me, as a brother, I know this rift. But for Brooklyn Beckham, we're not famous brothers. So for Brooklyn Beckham to walk away from a famous family for this woman, I'm interested.
You people did not hold back one bit. Some of you were signed with Brooklyn, that Brooklyn is want to control his peace and be his own narrative, which is very grand with Brooklyn. But Brooklyn's family has been in the public eye for quite some time, so they're not going to shy away from this. But I can relate. I can hear what Brooklyn's talking about and hear his empathy. That hey, you trying to do this and do that, and then your parents, come in and tell you what to do and tell you how to present yourself. So there's a lot going on with that situation. Hopefully the Beckhams can reconcile and get their differences settled across and hear each other out as we go. Thank you all for watching this edition of Viral. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We'll see you next time for another edition of Viral. This is Kendrick Dix for your Viral Preview. On the Viral Preview this week, we talk about Brooklyn Beckham. You may have heard of him. He got very famous parents, David and Victoria of England. We know that David is a famed soccer star as well as Victoria was at once a time a pop star in a girl group called, better known as the Spice Girls. Well, Brooklyn feels like his parents are being controlling and telling him what to do with his life when Brooklyn wants to do things his way and do things as he stand by his wife. We'll get to the latest on what's going on between Brooklyn versus his parents, David and Victoria Beckham, on the next edition of Viral.